And we know now that government by organized money is just as dangerous as government by organized mob. Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I... Yes, yes, yes. What's up, world? Welcome to another edition of I Mix What I Like live. The special edition, I should say, of I Mix What I Like live. We'll get to, of course, while we're here in a minute, but I just want to welcome to the stage, to the screen, my venerable crew and colleagues, the original Killer Bees, the original Hate Award squad, Dr. Steven Bro, Dr. Hate, all in the building. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. It's glad to be back. Friday morning on the radio, Jared. This is bringing back memories.
Friday morning on the radio, bringing back memories.
If it isn't the most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi.
That's us.
That's a good day to hate,
back
fellas.
Again for the 8th annual good day to hate for the 8th annual 2020 Annus Horribilis Supercross Winter Solstice. It could get worse. COVID pandemic, White Walker, Boku, Foku, Hubert Henry Harrison Hate Awards. The as we were joking, the get out of award shows, the sorry to bother you of political analysis, the satirical comedic look at all that prevents liberation, sovereignty, and revolution. We want to start off by reminding everybody of just that fact. This is satire, this is parody, this is jokes, this is hate to hate on, what deserves to be hated on, and to give tribute to that which is hated well on what deserves to be hated on. And the two rules, as always, of importance here are everyone can get it, and you must hate harder. So historically, all three of us have been award winners. Our closest friends and colleagues have been award winners. Everyone does and can get it. And there's so much to hate on, especially after the last year. I think we could not have come together at a better time. So it's good to be back, fellas, and to get this thing started a little bit.
I just want to say that I'm glad we're naming it after Hubert Henry Harrison, because after slogging over that 1,400 pages of Jeffrey Perry, he followed these rules. He created these rules because everybody got it under Harrison.
I kind of like that.
Because everybody, you kind of like what? What's that?
I kind of like the idea that we're going back in history to look at the greatest haters in history.
Right.
And Hubert Henry Harrison has to be one of the greatest haters in history, because he's one of the most hated on by the relative silence that the scholarship around all of the Black insightful minds have ever produced. So if we know this guy was an invisible person, but the most visible with the analysis at the time, well, then we got to go find these invisible haters and bring life back to them.
To quote my upcoming book review for imixwhatilike.org, to hate on Garvey, Du Bois, and Washington is a hell of a hat trick.
Wow, right on. That's it. So it's perfect that we name, and of course we invite people after this to go back to imixwhatilike.org and to check out the interview done there with Jeffrey Perry, Dr. Jeffrey Perry, on Hubert Henry Harrison. And then when we get this new book review from Dr. Burroughs, we will maybe bring him back and talk about that again separately. Again, please do like, share, and subscribe. Invite people on over. If you are catching this in the replay, please do the same thing. And consider becoming a member by clicking the join button to this channel and supporting some new projects and some other good work that's going to come up as part of an extended collective. So, all right, fellas, with that, without further ado, let me just outline for folks the coming awards that we have to give throughout the next, however long we're going to be here, 90 minutes or so. and we want to also, as we talked about, we want to invite you all, just like the elections of the United States, we are inviting you to vote on each category, but we make no promises that your vote are going to mean anything or have any impact on the outcome. So we invite you to hate. We invite and again, by the way, as we put in the description at the YouTube and at the link at imixwhatilike.org, just, there is a political, one other political context to this that I want to add before we get to the categories and get into all of this, which is that as the late, great Safiya Bukhari of the Black Panther Party has said, you have to be willing to subject to the rapier knife of revolutionary criticism if you are serious about creating a revolution. And of course, that's from her classic, The War Before, The True Life of Becoming a Black Panther, Keeping the Faith in Prison, Fighting for Those Left Behind, came out in 2010. And of course, also the other late, great George Jackson, as he said, I dig people, righteous people. I always have found it hard to really hate people. I always have found it hard to really hate anyone. I loved people. I understood from the beginning that the end purpose of life was simply to live, experience, contribute, connect, to gratify the body and mind. I began to hate when I discovered that the mystification was injected intentionally, end quote. And of course, that's from George Jackson, Soledad Brother, The Prison Letters of George Jackson, published in 1970, I believe. I have the 94 edition in front of me. That's where I'm quoting from. So in other words, we need to be able to critique, and we want to add some humor to that critique and that criticism. But I couldn't echo Jackson's sentiments more. I try to love everything, and the hate only comes when you realize that this is all happening intentionally, inspired by the madness and hate of others. So anyway, without further ado, here we go. The intro to the award categories coming up. We have the book award. We have the Umar Johnson, in terms of categories, these aren't the awards, but the category book award. We have Umar Johnson. We have coronavirus. We have the pandemic quarantine. We have Christopher Dorner, Blackfish, Tillicum, Bamboozled, To Catch a Predator, Legacy, The Schadenfreude and The Shooter Fraud, Frog and Scorpion, the COINTELPRO. We just had to add that, the COINTELPRO. We had to, or I should say, we had to reinstitute the classic award, the COINTELPRO award, or the NOINTELPRO award, and then of course the culmination of the Hater of the Year, the vaunted, and as we've also talked about, the hard to maintain, the hard to hold on to Hater of the Year award.
There's just so many. There's so many.
And it's just hard to maintain that standard. You might get it and have to relinquish it just a few months later. But anyway, all right.
The time I had it.
Now, also keep in mind, folks, we're going to have a vigorous contest for Hater of the Year. You should be thinking about who's who, because some of the candidates might be in the green room and live on stage at the moment.
Right.
Some of your candidates might be in the red, black, and green room on stage, waiting in the wings. It's a lot of haters out here.
There's a lot of haters. And that's indeed, Brother Kaba. We see you, and shout out to you. Yeah, that's right. The votes might not necessarily count. That's right. First rate hate. We're the hateful world. I'm saying, Anyway, okay, so I'm starting the clock, and if I can, I'm even going to get it on camera so that we'll try to maintain roughly 10 minutes per category. And our first up category, starting the clock now, is the most haterful book of the year award.
Can I announce the first candidate for this one?
Absolutely, my brother.
So folks who are, somewhat familiar with the work of I Mix What I Like may have heard of this concept of buying power this year. And so our first nominee for the most hateful book of the year award is Dr. Jared Ball himself with The Myth of Black Buying Power.
And let me tell you why he deserves this award. He went after my family. The black press is my family. Ebony Jet is my family. He went after them. He shot him down like it was in The Godfather when he went to the, remember when my man went into the bathroom to get the gun and shoot him down? He shot him down. But I can't deny it.
It was not
what he said.
It was not with any pleasure. And it was, but it certainly, hey, look, the reality is the black press, the commercial black press is complicit in the intentional mystification around this buying power mythology. And as they say, to capture ad revenue and to make the corporate world respect, as they say, the black press, they help produce this mythology that buying power is real and constitutes a power that doesn't exist. So yeah, unfortunately, but I am happy to get that award. And unfortunately, I don't mind to share some behind the scenes real quick. We had some sound effects prepared, but the reality is what I'm realizing is once you go live, other walls emerge that prevent some of the aesthetic flourishes we had planned for this morning. So please, in your own mind's eye, play an applause track in the background as we nominate these folks. And I will happily accept this nomination. I'm proud to be nominated for the most haterful book of the year award for 2020. And thanks to the committee for the nomination. Do you want to announce the others? Yeah, go ahead. Yes,
let me just announce, because our next one is one of our fan favorites, one of our local heroes, who I think you two can take credit for introducing to a larger segment of the population before his book had really caught fire. This is Frank Wilderson, and his recent release, Afro-Pessimism, is a theory of hate. I'm gonna just claim it as that. This is, hateful theory on the conditions of African people. I think it's inspired so much hate. It's attracted hate from all different segments. And we can see again in the archives of our Mix What I Like, all of the folks that are coming to the fore to say, I hate this man. So Frank, for your work in Afro-Pessimism, you get this nomination too. And then why don't you take this last one? Because you were fuming. I ain't never seen you fraud so much, Jared. You were fuming at this last one. With your BTAC member, yeah. You don't act like you wasn't fuming, bro. You was fuming on the next one. Talk about this next interview you did with the next nominee.
So our next nominee is our dear brother from the Blacklash Collective, which is reconvening here shortly. So check out mixwhatilike.org for that as well. But Dr. Kwesi Konadu, for his book, which his latest, Our Own Way in this part of the world, a biography of an African community, culture, and nation, who during his last visit to our Mix What I Like Live dropped some heavy criticism of Kwame Nkrumah that admittedly threw me for a loop. I wasn't ready. Can't say I agree, and many in the audience were confused and in some shockful disagreement. So we will have to reconvene on that. But for the critique that basically Nkrumah was not culturally attuned well enough to advance the liberation of Ghana and Africa in general. More or less is the over summary of the point is, that was pretty heavy, man. So,
but as a hater, he did what the haters must do. Second rule, hate harder. So he made us up our game on saying, well, this is why you can't come after Nkrumah. But the first rule is anybody could get it.
Anybody could get it.
And it was a clash of the titans and the claymation characters. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Wow. I was dying watching that joint. I was like, he going for the head of Medusa at this point. He ain't playing with this cracking no more, gentlemen. He got the head of Medusa on this joint. He trying to
Harryhausen references here. I love them, Dr.
You love that?
Harryhausen. I'm great at pronunciation, right, Dr. Ball? So, of course, I'm mispronouncing this all over the place.
No
Keep
doubt.
it up. We love it. We love it. We love all the Gunnar Midrill references.
Yes. That was about a presentation I did where I mispronounced Gunnar Midrill. I think I did like 5 times.
You still did it again, and I love it.
See, it doesn't
whatever. He wasn't Du Bois, he wasn't Cox, he wasn't a lot of people. So let him get it.
But Dr. Conadu is my publisher, and he definitely deserves this hate nomination. Absolutely. That was an incredible.
Congratulations to him. Are you all hearing those applause?
Faint applause.
A little bit.
All 6 people in the audience is just low key hating. They like, yeah, whatever. Who gonna get the award? How are we on the clock?
We have. It even faded up. We have 3.5 minutes left on this one, and we have 2 more nominees. So
the next one is an important one, right? Because we were talking about the African world with Kwesi Konadu, and he is a publisher, as Dr. Burroughs has said. But then the next one is somebody we know as one of the old guard in this community of African thinkers and African movers and African Shaker-Rays, right? So,
and another previous nominee.
And a previous nominee. Matter of fact, he could get the Legacy Award, right? Because the next one is Leonard Jeffries.
I appreciated his publication Blank. Because I noticed you have Blank next to his name, right? So clearly he wrote a book called Blank. I thought Blank, I review books for you, right? Blank was such a great book.
Oh my God.
I published on iMix What I Like, a review on Blank, right? You just go to it, go to iMix, look for it. You can't find it.
And that's why you're going to be coming up later for another nominee yourself.
Listen, Todd, when you taught us how to read Invisible Ink from the Invisible Book, I was like, this is an incredible deciphering skill right here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
It takes a lot of skill to write Blank.
That's messed up.
Very true. Now, let's just say this real quickly, right? When that Harlem debate came up and asked if Obama was good for Black people, and Dr. Jeff got up and said, yes, Malcolm would be down with Obama. And Mumia, he put the political prisoners on death row as in support of Obama. And I was like, that's it, man.
He said Obama's election signaled the end of white supremacy.
That was it.
And that's all at imixwhatilike.org. People can go listen to that too if they want.
Why don't you take the last one?
The last nominee for the most hateful book of the year award is Julian Assange for WikiLeaks, not for a particular book, but for being booked, maybe for being held in bookings permanently, for exposing the war crimes and the international crime of the United States government. This man is being persecuted and prosecuted at all kinds of levels. So we added him to the most hateful book of the year. So the nominees are Jared Ball for the Myth of Black Buying Power, Frank Wilderson for Afro-Pessimism, Kwesi Konadu for Our Own Way, Dr. Leonard Jeffries for Blank, and Julian Assange for WikiLeaks. We invite you all to cast your votes, to quickly cast your votes. And then are we going to announce the winner now, or are we going to come back at the end? Are we doing this? I forgot how we were doing it this year.
We got to announce this now. No, but
we got to pick it now.
We got to give them a few seconds to vote. Are they voting, Jared?
I'm looking in the chat. I don't see any. I see some wows and some dams. I see some uhs. I see some I don't know, some central booking. That was
Washington.
Oh, here we go. Wilderson got a vote.
Okay.
There's a vote for me. There's the Time's Up, the category. There's a Dr. Chile votes for me. Thank you, Dr. Chile. Ms. Cambridge, thank you for the vote for me as well. I think I'm getting a channel bias.
Well, we already know these elections are rigged, so my vote is going from the Myth of Black Buying Power, because it's not going to end up the way we need it to end up once we get to where we need to go. So if this is a hateocracy, who gonna win?
So I vote for me too. So that's
I concur. Let's give it to Dr. Ball. I mean, you know, when you go after my entire family, that's a wonderful thing. There it is.
All right.
It was close though. It was close.
I don't have a particular speech ready, prepared, but I want to thank the committee. I want to thank the haters that have hated before me and the haters that will hate after me. I want to thank
we need that Snoop Dogg version. We need the Snoop Dogg. I want to thank Lee for writing the book.
For being me and writing the book. So absolutely. Thank you again. I am now I can add another hate award to my mantle. I'm a multiple award-winning, hate award winner. And now I can officially tell people that I am the award-winning author of The Myth and Propaganda of Black Buying Power. So thank you all very much. Thanks to the committee. And we are right on schedule. So moving on, again, we are you are joining us at the Mix What I Like Live Special Edition, 8th Annual 2020 Annus Horribilis Supercross Winter Solstice. It could get worse. COVID-19 pandemic, White Walker, Boku, Foku, Hubert Henry Harrison Hate Awards. And we've just gone through the first category, the Most Haterful Book of the Year award. And I have thankfully and happily won that award. So I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like.